Hello, test, everyone, you can hear my voice. Hello,
I can hear your voice.
everyone, you can hear my voice.
Irma,
Hello,
I can hear your voice. Dr. Qayyum, Assalamualaikum.
you can hear my voice.
Irma,
Hello,
I can hear your voice. Dr. Qayyum, Assalamualaikum.
you can hear my voice.
Irma,
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Gimana dokter teh?
Di Jogja.
Oh, di Jogja.
Ya. Sehat, Pak?
Alhamdulillah ya.
Alhamdulillah.
Gimana teman-teman? Afwan? Nggak bisa dengar tuh.
Bisa.
Oh, belangkone.
Bu Etin. Assalamualaikum Bu Etin.
Waalaikumsalam. Salam kenal Pak Dr. Abdul Qayyum.
Salam kenal Ibu.
Ya. Afan, saya jadikan co-host ya, Afan ya.
Boleh, Bu. For the now, because yeah, I have a lot of time. Mrs. Irma, can you hear me? Hello, Mrs. Irma. Maybe we can start right now. Sumber Kabupaten. So yeah, maybe Hello, Miss Irma. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, answer me well, like responding, say hi, or whatever you like. Hello, Mrs. Irma. Can you hear me? Hello, Miss Irma. Can you hear me? Please respond it with chat maybe if you can turn on your mic so we can know that you have any problem or not. Okay, let's wait. We can see is she on the group? Okay, if Miss Irma is not responding for okay, disconnected, didn't see her name in participant. Okay, thank you. We would like to contact her, but if in the 4 minutes that she can attend, maybe I would like to replace her as the moderator or like master of ceremony, so we can start the event. So please give me for 3 minutes left. Wait. So I would like to contact the Miss Irma. Hello, Mrs. Irma. Can you hear me? Maybe you can respond if you already in this Zoom. 2 minutes left. If Mrs. Irma cannot answer well, I would like to replace and we can start. Mrs. Irma, can you hear me? If you are already in this Zoom, can you like maybe respond us so we can know? Okay, 1 minute left. Miss Irma, can you respond me? If not, I would like to replace you. Okay, 1 minute left. Okay, since that Mrs. Irma cannot responding, so I would like to replace her as the master of ceremony as well as the moderator itself. Let's start our event. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. The honorable speaker, Mrs. Prof. Etin, PhD, and then the Mr. Wildan and Mr. Saladin Kafrawi, Mr. Abdul Qayyum, Dr. Abdul Qayyum. We would like to apologize for our late, and then for all of the participants, my beloved member KMNU, honorable delegates and participants. Good morning, everyone. Let's give our thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because His blessing and grace we can gather in this event and conduct it smoothly. Also, don't forget give our salawat to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for his family, his friend, and yeah, we can, maybe we as her as his follower until the day of judgment. Okay, Mrs. Irma, can you hear me?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Afwan. I'm really sorry I get the trouble in signal. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, my voice is clear. Do you, everyone can hear my voice?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Okay. The Honorable Speaker Professor Atin Anwar PhD, the Honorable Speaker Dr. Abdul Qayyum SAIM SCFIN, the Honorable Special Guest Salahuddin Kafrawi PhD, the Honorable Special Guest Wildan Zaki Mubarak SPMP, and my beloved all member of KMNU, also honorable delegates and participants. Good morning and best wishes for us. Firstly, let's say thanks to our God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who has give us blessing and mercy so that we can gather in this place without something wrong happen. Alhamdulillah. Secondly, may peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam who has guided us into the right ways of life. And then I will introduce myself. Guys, my name is Irma Faikhat Hikmah. You can call me Irma. I'm from Depnas 5 KMNU Nasional. In this event, my pleasure to be your master of ceremony. Once again, I will say thank you for your presence and welcome to KMNU International Webinar 2020. Our theme today is Global Youth Challenge and Response, Facing Islamophobia and Gender Inequality. Before we start our agenda today, let me read out the rundown of our event. Our agenda is the first session is opening, the second session is tilawah, and then the next session is singing the national anthem, and the next session is welcoming speech. Next session is introduction or moderator, and the main session is presentation from the speaker. Also, not forget the question and answer session, and the last session is praying, documentation, and closing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we start this event, let us pray in accordance with your own belief or religion. May God make this event success and run smoothly. Okay, pray, start. Finish. Sorry. Okay. The next session is reading the Holy Quran. For Mr. Wakid, the time is yours, Mr. Wakid. Mr. Wakid, do you can hear me? Mr. Wakid? I'm sorry, do you can hear me, Mr. Wakid? Okay, we will wait for you, Mr. Wakid.
Mrs. Irma, maybe Mr. Derry can like substitute the Mr. Wakid.
Okay. And then for Mr. Derry, the time is yours, Mr. Derry.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون والله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم صدق الله العظيم. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Mr. Derry. May God bless us after hearing the Holy Quran. The next session is singing the national anthem Indonesia Raya. For the technician team, you may play the song.
Wait. I would like to replace the and play the song. Miss Irma, you can confirm if you hear our song. Wait. Okay.
Okay,
Is it
I hear.
audible? Can you hear the song?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, that's it. I would like to share screen. How can I?
Rakyatku semuanya.
Okay, and then the next session is singing the Subhanal Waton anthem for the technician team. You may play the song.
Jangan.
negeriku, kau panci martabatku. Siapa datang mengancammu kan binasa di bawah dirimu. Siapa datang mengancammu kan binasa di bawah dirimu. Salah aku minal hidman imadu ya nalatan.
Indonesia biladi anta urwan fakoma kullu mayya ika yauma qoli hayya qaimama kullu mayya ika yauma qoli hayya qaimama. Wahai tanah airku, cintamu dalam imanku, jangan halangkan nasibmu. Bangkitlah, hai bangsaku, sangka hati wahai tanah airku, cintamu dalam imanmu, jangan halangkan nasibmu. Bangkitlah, hai bangsaku. Indonesia negeriku, engkau panci martabatku. Siapa datang mengancam kan binasa di bawah dirimu. Siapa datang mengancam kan binasa di bawah dirimu.
Okay. The next session is singing the KMNU anthem. For the technician team, you may play the song. Okay, thank you very much for the technician team. And then the next session is welcoming speech. The first welcoming speech is from Mr. Salahuddin Kafrawi as the PCI-NU Amerika Serikat Kanada representative. For Mr. Salahuddin Kafrawi, please give your applause and please welcome Mr. Salahuddin.
Thank you, Irma. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wassalaman.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Amma ba'd. Ikhwanil kiram, it is my honor to be in this forum with you. I'm going to be quick in this opportunity, just to welcome everyone in this academic forum in order that we can learn something about two major issues that we face here in our contemporary world, and that is the issue of Islamophobia and the issue of gender inequality. Couple point I would like to emphasize. Number one, Islamophobia exists and it is real. Gender inequality also exists and is also real. Now, with this two major emphasis that I give, the following one I would like to formulate three questions as starting point for us to think about what we might expect from this forum. And number one is, if Islamophobia and gender inequality really exists, if that is the case, then what are the real causes? What are the real causes of Islamophobia? What are the real causes of gender inequality? And question number two is there any relation between the two? If there is relation between the two, is the relation between Islamophobia and gender inequality one way? For example, Islamophobia lead to gender inequality, or the other way around, that gender inequality is one of the reasons why there is Islamophobia? Or the relationship between the two are mutual. The existence of Islamophobia would propel gender inequality, and gender inequality is also what leads to Islamophobia. Okay, so that is the second question. And the third question is, if they are real and Islamophobia and gender inequality have causes, and it has some real implication in our life, then as future leaders, perhaps we can learn from our two speakers tonight on how to address both issues. How do we address the reality of Islamophobia, and how do we address gender inequality? I think that is the list of questions that I can pose in this forum, so that we can think about it and we can ask further about it, and then we can delve into it and discuss in more in depth. Now, with that, I would like to give the forum back to our moderator so that we can learn more about the issues at hand. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Salahuddin, for your understanding the remarks. And then the next session is welcoming speech from Mr. Wildan as KMNU representative. Mr. Wildan, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hamdan wa syukran lillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min syururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina may yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiyalah. Salatan wa salaman da'imaini ala habibina wa syafi'ina wa maulana Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam alladzi qad hamala nasi minal dhulumati ilan nur. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the world, the master and creator of everything in the universe, the destroyer of our oppressors and the hope of the oppressed, for enabling us to meet together in this international webinar. Peace and salvation be found to the noble of Prophet of Islam, Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his household, his companions, and his faithful followers until in end of time. The Honorable of Suriah, PCI-NU AS Kanada, the Honorable of our founder Reducates, and first speaker of 18 Anwar, PhD, the Honorable of leader of KMNU, and second speaker Dr. Abdul Qayyum, SAE, MSc, Fin, the Honorable President National and Central Committee of KMNU. We respect the heads of regional and college KMNU, which we are proud of member KMNU and our participant at KMNU International Webinar. Thank you very much to our international webinar seminar organizer who have worked hard to prepare this seminar until well, and especially to all the guests of this seminar. Thank you for taking in the time. This time in international webinar, we will discuss something which still a hot topic, of conversation and doesn't often create a problem in several regions or in country, namely Islamophobia and gender inequality. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in Quran, wa ma arsalnaka illa rahmatan lil alamin, and we don't send you Muhammad but to be a mercy for all nature. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam raising and building Islamic civilization with passion, compassion, and practicing of moral in the context of the Islamic treaties that come down in Mecca 14 centuries ago. Islamic teaching placed women in a very noble position and role. The attitude of Islam toward women went beyond the progress of human civilization at the time. The West was still sleeping when the Al-Quran portrayed women as having political independence. Al-Istiqlal Asiyasi in Al-Quran Surat ayat 12 as the figure of Queen Balqis in Quran Surat An-Naml 23. An economic independence as Istiqlal al-Iqtisadi Quran An-Nahl 27, or independence in determining personal choice. Al-Istiqlal al-Shakhsi, which are built to be true, even though they have to face husband for women who are married. Quran Surat At-Tahrim 11. I hope that from here, our talk and awareness will grow to participate in thinking about solution for the problems. From me, that's our advocates for if there are many mistakes and shortcoming from me, representation for the commit. That's enough. I'm sorry. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Wildan, for your unforgettable remarks. And then the next session is introduce our moderator. To introduce our moderator, please, the technician, the CV of our moderator. Okay, Masya Allah. Afwan Muhammad Rizki. We can call him Kang Afwan. Kang Afwan is from Bogor. He is now he is Brawijaya University student, and you know that Mr. Afwan is very talented student. He get many awards and achievement. You know that. You can see the best delegates in more for the reading competition. Masya Allah. Okay, and now Mr. Afwan is Presidium Nasional 5 KMNU Nasional. And then, please, Mr. Afwan, as the moderator, the time is yours, Mr. Afwan.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Irma. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. This is my pleasure to serve you as a moderator. The Honorable Mrs. Etin, the Honorable Mr. Salahuddin, the Honorable Mr. Koyum, the Honorable Mr. Wildan, and all of my beloved member of KMNU. Welcome to our seminar, KMNU International Webinar 2020. And as you can know that our topic is about the Islamic phobia and then the gender inequality itself. And yeah, if we are talking about the Islamophobia and the gender inequality, just like as the international relations student, I'm really believe and I studied it. And if you are women data itself in the COVID-19 like this, the rising of the number gender violence towards women, it is increasing. Why? Well, that will be explained maybe with our speaker. And yes, without being said, let me to introduce our honorable speaker. We have two speaker. The first one is, let me to screen the CV of our okay. Our first speaker is Mrs. Etin Anwar, PhD. As you can know that she is our first speaker. That you can see her background of education. She is in the philosophy department. You can know that you don't have to be nervous about the philosophy. It is relaxed. If you are truly studied about the philosophy, it is like maybe it is easy. However, if you are not want to be thinking more, it will be difficult like that. And her interest is about the youth religion, radicalism, and activism, Sufi healing in the Qadariyah Naqshbandiyah, Sufi order in Indonesia, genealogies of Islam feminism, dating Muslim, community resilience, and many more. And you can see her teaching experience. It is too many. Yeah, maybe if you want to be a teacher someday, you have to be take some knowledge from Mr. Etin. And then you can see her experience again for publication like research. Yeah, it is really feminism, right? And the MC is feminism itself. Like, you can know that Mbak Irma is really feminism. And if you insult him with the polygamy or the like perempuan is not have to be keluar rumah, you can maybe have a debate with Mbak Irma like that. Okay, that is our first speaker. So before we start the discussion, I would like to remind you about our discussion, like the rules of our discussion. The first is you have to be use English. However, if you want to use your national language like Indonesia or Japanese or Sundanese, if you cannot speak English well, the moderator would like to translate to the speaker. So yeah, you don't have to be worried. If you want to be asked, you just ask it. You don't have to be feel some like nervous like that. Okay, and yeah, you make sure that you are not turn on your mic while the presenter or the speaker is speaking. And make sure the last one is you have to be respect each other, no show hate speech, no racism, no discrimination or about the religion or political insult, explicit or pornographic picture, and any violence and action will be result into the verbal or general warning, cancellation of the certificate, and removal for the webinar itself. Okay, so without being said, let's hear and let's please welcome Miss Etin. The time is yours, and give our applause. Okay, Mr. Etin, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dunya wadin. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa ashabihi. Guests, honorable organizers, honorable staff members from KMNU. I'm very honored tonight to become your speaker. It reminds me of my past life. I was young, long time ago. And tonight, I would be the oldest. I would imagine that apart from Professor Kafrawi, I could be the oldest in this room. I'm very happy to be part of your journey, your intellectual journey. When I was younger, I was also active in many discussions. I love if there were long time ago announcement about trainings, I would be the first to do it. I love doing training, not only with PMII, but also with other youth organizations. And that training carries me into where I am right now. I love learning. I love being with people who are like me, thinking about the world, thinking about the future, thinking about youth. For tonight, I'm given the topic on Islamophobia and gender equality. I'm going to share my PowerPoint presentation, and then so you could follow my explanation, and then at the end you could ask questions. And I would like to ask all of you to mute yourself so that we have a better delivery of my material and also the talk itself. In America right now, it is 10 o'clock. So if I fall asleep, I'll blame everybody there. But anyway, let me start by sharing my PowerPoint, and let's find show from current slide. I've changed the title for me into Challenging Global Islamophobia and Gender Inequality and Muslim Youth and Muslims youth role in civic engagement. When I think about this topic, I would imagine that the world I'm going to leave behind, I wish it is going to be the world that I want for my children. And that kind of world is also for you, for everybody. The world that I would like to leave behind and the legacy that I would like to live as a human being is the world that allows for you to have fun, allows for you to be inspired, allows for you to share with others, would be wonderful. That kind of life would be cherished. Why? Because it allows us to pursue what we like. It allows us to pursue our maximum capacity in life. And that world is there for some. Everyone is having problems in some ways. The world where family members support each other, where society support each other, where we could go back to our normal life, right? I took this picture during the Eid al-Fitri a year ago, not this past Eid al-Fitri. We cherish that time. And hopefully after COVID-19, we can go back to that world where we don't worry about our neighbors, we don't worry about our friends. Right now, we are always worried. We are worried if our family members get COVID-19. We are worried about if our best friends get COVID-19. We are worried if we ourselves get COVID-19. So the world that we want is the world that is peaceful for everybody, the world that is more accepting to differences, that is more, the world that give us more opportunities in the future. We also want the world where nature doesn't suffer. We want the world that climate change could be addressed. We want the world that flood could be stopped. We want the world that dry season could be stopped. And that world is what we want, right? However, are we getting there? Not with the climate change, not with deforestation, not with racial injustice. All of these are problems. And Islamophobia is tied to the world, to injustice in the world. Gender inequality is tied to injustice in the world. So when we think about the world that we want, is the world that is more accepting to us. This scenery is in New York City. I live in New York. It is about 6 hours away, but we visit New York City a lot of time. This is the place where people from all over the world come. And we hope that people from all over the world would come to Indonesia. That would be the best, right? If Indonesia becomes the destination for international students to study, for tourists to come, for investors to come. That would be the best, because then it would give you the benefit of jobs and better future. With COVID-19, however, it is difficult for students to go around the world. Even if you could, it may be delayed. So the world isn't that easy at this point. But hopefully the world that we are going to experience is going to be better in comparison to yesterday. We cannot change yesterday, but we can plan for our future. And this talk is about your future. How youth like you, how KMNU, how human beings could contribute for better world. How all of us could contribute for better world. And this kind of hope is not impossible if we work together, if we change the world together. Because in Islam, us to see the change behind in terms of job opportunities. Our country has a lot to do in regard to innovation, in regard to quality education, in regard to equality in general, especially gender equality. We want the world where we can go out, right? We can play outside, but with COVID-19, we are not there yet. And hopefully, when COVID-19 is going away, maybe 2-3 years from now, we are able to go out again and have fun without masks, without social distancing. But right now, everything is the past in terms of our ability to be mobile as we wish, like before. I mean, I don't know in Indonesia, but in Amerika, we have a lot of people with COVID-19. So we are very, very careful. Although I teach in persons, I meet students in my classes, but we are very, very careful. We don't physical relationship because we believe that wearing to when the world that where everyone without any regard we want. We want the world that is fair, opportunities. Unfortunately, in places like America and many others, not only in America, some Muslims are subjected to discriminations. Some Muslims are subjected to hate. We call it hate crime. We also have problems in Indonesia. You know, we have the problem of well, I would say some people, some Muslims who are politically oriented toward quote and quote problems in other parts of the world, nation against Muslims because they are Muslims. We may recall in India and other places too. So you may not experience it, you may not experience the discrimination, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. The same is true with gender inequality. You may not necessarily be subjected to sexual violence. You may not be subjected to discrimination. You may not be subjected to any kind of violence because you are men. Men are in control of the narrative of how women should be in the world. However, when women experience sexual violence, their experiences are real. When women suffer from discrimination, their experience is real. And we have to commit ourselves to change that kind of narrative. Islamophobia, Islam, anti-Muslim. These pictures, and then Muslims should say, I'm a good Muslim. My name is Muhammad, an American Muslim, not a terrorist. That very response has to do with what is going on in America right now. And this kind of anti-Islam and anti-Islam rhetoric emerge in relation to quote unquote some Muslim behaviors too. Some terrorists feed the imagination of some Americans about violence. Professor Kaprawi said earlier, we need to rethink about the correlation between Muslim terrorist behaviors and Islamophobia. We have to rethink about the relationship between women's discrimination and anti-women in the West, anti-Muslim women. We have to think about the correlation. The reason why we have to think about the relationship between what Muslims do and what Westerners think about Muslim is that because in some ways we are seen as Muslims, and the West tends to think that all Muslims are similar. If one person commits a crime of honor killing, for instance, then the Western media would immediately say all Muslims are committing honor killing. unfortunately, again, Muslim behaviors feed the media's portrayal of Muslims as violent people. Of course, the Western media is wrong too in doing that, but we cannot control the Western media, but we could control our behaviors, Muslims. And Islam expects us to really do our best in our life. It is difficult, of course, but that is the expectation from Islam. We have to become better, to commit ourselves to justice, because Islam is about justice. However you want to talk about Islam, Islam is about justice. For our family member, justice. For everyone. Eat, pray, eat, and many others. And that is very, very important for being Muslim. We have to balance lifestyle. And I would imagine that each of you has a wonderful student experience. I would imagine that the majority of you are activists. The fact that this is KMNU, so many of you come here because you are activists and activists. And that is very, very important. It's called voluntarism in English. And we could change all of this by our activism, by our advocacy. And the first thing that we need to do is to do well, to act well, to be good Muslim. Why? Because it is so easy for the West to look for our weaknesses, to look for our mistake. A lot of time, good Muslims are not even recorded, or not all Muslims, good Muslims, make into the news. Only bad Muslims make into the news, and then the media would spin it, would continue to portray how Muslims are bad people, and then Americans learn from the media and they believe what they see. Of course, we are not like that. We learn the information, not just look at the television and learn, or the media, and that's it. We use the media as the source for information only. But then nowadays we are using social media, and we use social media as our news, as our source for knowledge. I think that is very, very dangerous if youth